Alright guys, this one's going to be doing a review today. This one's going to be doing a review for The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon. And in today's video, we're going to be discussing The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon and the future of the series. We have some news and some updates from the creators and the creative team in general for upcoming seasons of Daryl Dixon and how far this thing could potentially be going. I want to talk about some of the stuff they shared. They did share some interesting information, and obviously, I'm not surprised. I am not surprised at all by the news that they have shared, but it's interesting to say the least. So, okay. Walking Dead Daryl Dixon, we know right now, is currently filming Season 4. We know that Season 4 just began filming recently in Spain. So we know that at least Season 3 and Season 4 will be taking place in Spain. Now, there is a quote that came out that kind of talked about a little bit more than that. So let's go over that now. As for exploring a new culture, he said, that's going to be exciting for the revening of the show. It feels all signs pointing towards us continuing to move and get to the next place. In Season 5 and 6, it could be a different place. They'll keep moving until they get home.
There's no way someone's that fucking stupid.
Fuck no.
Yeah, so it definitely sounds like, at least based off of the looks of it, that we will be getting kind of more stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get more stuff. We're going to get more seasons. It sounds like they're planning out Season 5 and 6. So, I don't know. Listen, I'm not even surprised at this point. I'm not surprised at all. Listen, I'm glad for Norman. I'm glad he's getting all this work. You know, it's a good thing for him. Is it a good thing for the longevity of The Walking Dead? Probably not, because there's things I want to see Daryl do besides tour the world all the time, you know what I mean? I'd like to actually see him get back to Alexandria and get back to Rick. I think that would be a great thing, you know what I mean? And I was okay with, 3 to 4 seasons and then, you send him home, But it sounds like they're looking at other options. They're looking at other locations. They're looking at other places. Apparently that whatever is going to keep the show alive. I'm like, well, listen. And this is the way I look at that statement. Is like them saying they need to look at different locations to keep the show interesting and keep it, alive and stuff like that. I'm like, well, listen, if it's already not alive, then send his ass home, Not to mention, you also got to look at, kind of just how long you can do this realistically. Norman's not a young guy anymore. You know what I mean? He's gaining on 60 here pretty soon. How much longer is he going to actually do this for? It almost feels like he's like a Tom Cruise type, where he's like, I'll do this till I'm 100 years old. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's what it feels like, which, like I said, I respect Norman Reedus. I respect his dedication. It's why I'll watch however many seasons we get. But in terms of the longevity of this and the purpose of, these spinoffs, do we really need to do 6 seasons of Daryl Dixon? I don't really think we do. I think you could have realistically done, 4 seasons, and that's pushing it. If it were my decision, I would have said, okay, this is a limited time series. Daryl goes to France for 2 seasons, and then you send him back home, and you get the reunion with Rick, And then you may say, like, oh, well, wait a minute, though. At that point, everything's done. Like, you can't get any more content with Daryl Dixon. I beg to differ. You could always do stuff with Daryl Dixon after you do the reunion. You know what I mean? After the reunion's done, then you can do more with this character. I've always said that, Just let him see Rick. For the love of God, let him see Rick, But that's not what they're doing. They're forcing this out to 6 seasons, and we're not going to get anything of what we want anytime soon. Like, not even kind of soon. This is going to go on forever. I'm telling you, and it's the sad reality of this. It's going to take a cancellation before they stop doing this. It is. It's going to take a cancellation. Which, for something like Dead City, I want Dead City to go on for a long time. I think Dead City is an enjoyable show. For Daryl Dixon, I am losing my patience with how many friggin' seasons they are pumping out, at a time. It's crazy. Like, it's crazy that they're even thinking that far ahead. Like, answer me this. What is the purpose for Daryl going to all these locations, right? What is the ultimate story reason for that to happen? Because the way they're describing this is like, oh, well, Daryl's going to have to go through all these different locations to get back home. Well, if you know your geography, you'll know that if you go across the narrow sea there, across Spain, you will arrive in the United States. So I don't understand why we got to backtrack and go the other way around and do a little lap around the world. You know what I mean? Why don't we just go the other way? You know what I'm saying? They're coming up with any excuse to keep Daryl overseas. I don't understand what the reason is. Listen, I'm a fan of all these new cultures and all these different things and these different, environments, but when there's things that your main character has to be doing, when there's things for Daryl to be doing back, in his hometown, I would say that's more important, than this. That's just kind of my opinion on it. I think that this show needs to kind of, wrap everything up after season 4. I seriously would advise them to do so, but obviously they're not telling us that 4 is the last season. They're telling us that there's a 5 and a 6 being planned. So I just, I don't know, man. We'll see. I'm gonna watch it. I'm not gonna ever not watch it. But I wish that Daryl would get taken more seriously. You know what I mean? Like, this is a Daryl spinoff. This is a Daryl show. You know what I mean? And this is what we get. Like, it just, I don't know. Like, for a Daryl series, I'd expect something a lot more exciting than just, okay, let's go to a new location every 2 seasons. I'm just watching Ride with Norman Reedus. That's all I'm watching. I don't know. But, I know that there are some people out there that are excited for this. I know there's some people out there that say that, hey, I don't want Rick and Daryl's reunion. I don't ever need it. You know what I mean? I just simply can't understand that. I can't understand that perspective. I'm sorry. These shows, like, these countries, like, they're fun for a while, but it's like, after a while, like, let's go the hell home. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't see Walter White going to all these different locations around the world during Breaking Bad? No, because they knew when his story was over and they knew when to conclude him. Wouldn't it be nicer if Daryl's, character concluded in a nice way in the near future instead of dragging out the character to just pointless end stories that just end in the same result of Daryl killing the villain? You know what I mean? Like, we all know that's how it's going to work out, and then he's going to take his ass to a different country. So, I don't know. It's, I'm losing my patience a little bit here. I am. I'm losing my patience a little bit. 6 seasons, like, come on. Genuinely, like, do you need that, Gimple? Do you really need 6 seasons of Daryl Dixon? Is that really something that you need to keep this thing around? I don't think you do. I don't think you do at all. I really don't think you do. And again, you should listen to better franchises like Dexter that knows how to tell a franchise and knows how to connect their spinoffs to the greater story. Like a franchise like Breaking Bad that connected their one spinoff to the main series, that gave the spinoff more of a purpose because it had something to do with the original series. Better Call Saul enhanced Breaking Bad. That's the purpose of that show. Dexter Original Sin, Dexter New Blood, enhances the original series. It gives it more purpose, you know what I mean? I'm not getting that with Daryl Dixon. I'm not getting that at all. All I'm getting is just mindless, dumb stuff, Like, again, it's not a bad show. It's just, what are we doing? You know what I mean? What are we doing? Seriously, what is the end goal here? Like, is there an end goal? Because I'm starting to think there isn't an end goal. Like, it's almost like we're just going to do this until we run out of money. You know what I mean? Which, that's a dumb idea. Save your money for bigger and better things. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I'm a little frustrated with The Walking Dead, guys. If I'm being honest, I'm getting a little frustrated with them. Like I said, Dead City, it's been enjoyable. You know what I mean? Daryl Dixon, it's enjoyable, but I'm just a little frustrated with the lack of direction here. I'm kind of over it, you know what I'm saying? I don't really understand what we're trying to do right now, but we're doing it, I guess. So, listen, I'll tune in every year. I'm invested in The Walking Dead. I'll always watch it. But they gotta find a purpose or something. And if there is none, wrap it up, honestly. And yeah, speaking of none, that's a big reason why this show failed. They're killing off characters that are important. So, anyway, let me know your thoughts. Post your comments down below, guys. We'll see what ends up happening. That's kind of my real... You guys know me. I'm real. I'm honest. That's my actual reaction right there, hearing that there's 6 seasons and another country to happen after Spain. Let me know your thoughts. Post your comments down below. If you're new to the channel and you enjoy videos like this, guys, make sure to click subscribe and tune up to any other videos. Sure to follow me on Dan's Reviews Official on Instagram, guys. And, of course, I'll see you guys very soon for more videos for the Walking Dead universe. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and peace out.
Born in the dark alleys, city of concrete. Dan's reviews blowing up, never taste defeat. Walking Dead, dissected every plot twist. Beat world gone mad, TV junkies hit a tree. Typing up scripts, marathon through the night. His opinions hit harder than a straight fight scene. Every episode, brain sharper than a knife. He's the beacon of critique, shedding TV light.